Much better here. It's been a long day for us here in the booth, but what's important is that we have a best-of-3 match now starting, and it is a yellow versus purple. 90 minutes on the clock. Best-of-3 with control decks might actually need the full 90 minutes. Now, this is something that could definitely drag out with a bunch of healing, but, are we playing the mill strategy? Are we playing more of a break strategy? I'm very curious to see what we have from the purple player on the right.
Yeah, so this is going to be Seed 1 versus Seed 2. And it is going to be with purple, starting off with Sugar Glass, already having Moonlight as well as the Moonlight Shard. We do see a Star Fruit as well as I believe a Wind Archer was also in hand. So that's actually a really, really powerful, great hand to start out with. We do have the Marshmallow Cookie here, the set 1 blocker coming out for Nyx. And we're watching and seeing what kind of plays these two players will be making for this final, or actually second to the final match that we have for today. Of course, we are going to start out with the second usage of the Sugar Glass, and it does look like we are going to finish it off with the Star Fruit and, trashing the Sugar Glass and the Marshmallow here, forcing Nyx to play a different cookie. So let's see what is happening.
Yep. So we're seeing Kumio come down from Nyx's side, and the Star Fruit is going to be the main choice here for getting us that common play that we've seen here multiple times, right? Of the Star Fruit just being able to clear the way, making sure our Sugar Glass isn't going to just break for free. But we are seeing 2 damage here come across. But you know what? These level 1s have been great all weekend long because they are just fuel for the purple decks to sacrifice them, get a various effect to negate the damage with the Grimoire or the Forbidden Incantation, dealing some damage. So a lot of options here for purple players to use their level 1s in ways that no other color in the game really can, at least as of this current set.
Yep, so exactly. It does look like he actually does have the Grimoire in hand and deciding, hey, what do I want to play out here? Because I couldn't sacrifice the Starfruit next turn. I just need to have and make sure I have 1 active support. And it does look like Affogato is going to be the choice to try and do 2 damage to the Kumio and knock Kumio out early so that you still have that 1 support up for the Grimoire in case. And also that Kumio is going to be out and, you don't have to deal with it. But an HP flip does come out. We'll see if Nyx does choose to, keep the Kumio alive, and that is exactly what he's going to do. And that is going to be the 2 damage that is going to be played here. Keeping Kumio alive, we do have Affogato now. Milling as well, that should have taken place. I don't know if the milling took place.
Yeah, he did mill one off top there. So.
Got it. So that is going to be the thing. And now moving on to Nyx for turn 3.
Yeah, Affogato Cookie, again, being a really nice piece that allows us to get that extra mill because we want to see 15 cards in our opponent's trash to activate a lot of effects. Of course, we care about 15 cards in our own trash as well for the Archer, and so there's a lot of opportunities for us to be able to cycle through the decks, try to find the right pieces. But really, as we've seen earlier, the Moonlight Cookie is so important for being able to cycle through the deck and making sure that we're finding the right pieces. But we have a Churro Cookie here now from Nyx's side, which is going to be a pretty big pickup because it is a great offensive card here, which is going to be able to attack into Slightly's board in a very favorable way here. And again, choosing that extra damage, the 2 damage, I was trying to remember if it was 1 or 2, damage in terms of what she's attacking. So a very nice clean turn that if we don't have the Grimoire, which it looks like it just floated to the front of his hand, we are able to prevent that damage and then just trash one of our other cards.
So yeah, the Affogato is going to go into the trash and use the Grimoire for it. -3 damage onto the Churro, but still, Starfruit is going to take that 2 damage at the end of the day because of the Den effect that cannot be negated by the Grimoire. So let's see what the cookie is going to come out for the next turn, and it looks like a Moonlight Cookie will be coming out early here for Slightly, and the 5 cards from the top of the deck of Nyx is going to go into the trash. I'm not sure exactly how many cards are going to be now in the trash pile, but we have to choose. Are we going to choose? Oh, wow, that's a very interesting choice to get rid of that Kumio early into the trash instead of knocking it out, because knocking it out allows, someone like Millennial Tree to bring it back later down the line. So he's saying, hey, I'm just going to prevent that overall right away and then just have your trash go to 15 for my next turn, where I'm able to also draw and, cycle some of the cards from my deck. So that's actually a very, very, very interesting play right there.
Yeah, I do like Sand Trash. It's so many times you've seen these yellow decks just hide behind, the Kumio wall, as it were, because you have to attack them first to the level 3. So, just cutting out one of those resources from Nyx's side I think is important. But, the big question for me is, are we at 15 or yet? I think with the trash here, we should be at 15 cards, meaning we are going to get the draw 2 and discard 1.
Yep, so even before it was, I believe, around like 14 or 15.
Yep.
So it definitely makes it possible for those draws to happen. And it does look like we do need to trash 1, kind of deciding on what it's going to be. We have like Affogato, Pumpkin Pie. We have a lot of, very, very good cards in hand. It does look like Pumpkin Pie is going to be the choice here that will be put into the trash. Again, Churro is still relatively healthy with that 2 HP. It needs to take another hit from Moonlight to actually be knocked out. So that bought Nyx one more turn at least to kind of draw, get some more cards in hand. And it does look like we have like Burnt Cheese. We do have someone like, Millennial Tree in hand. And let's see how many cards are in Slightly's trash as well. It doesn't look like exactly 15. Very, very close to it. But we have one support of, and I believe there was a U Village scroll as well.
Yes.
So let's see what the move here is from Nyx. Will we do the damage and then save the 1 for the possible Millennial Tree to come out next turn if Churro does get knocked out? And it does look like we're going to attack for the 2 damage. We will use the U Village scroll to negate one of them and bring back some of these cards, and it does look like both Pumpkin Pies are going to be chosen here. And it does look like there was a Moonlight trashed as well, and it looks like 2 U Village Scroll and a Moonlight Shard. So it does look like we're going to keep that Moonlight in trash possibly for a Cream Unicorn as well, because that allows you to bring back Moonlight from the trash rather than having to draw it from you shuffling back in. So we'll see what the next move here is. We had the U Village Scroll. We still do need to count and see what that 1 damage is going to be. And then most likely the next turn will be brought for Slightly. Oh, wow, an HP flip as well.
Our hand is so loaded, though. It's hard to find a discard that I think we're really good with. So we're still very healthy, and I think we just take the 1 and go into our next turn.
Yep, exactly what you said. There were so many good cards in hand, like the Moonlight Shards as well. So, Slightly just, allowing Moonlight to take that 1 damage here because it's not too much of a problem. We still have 5 HP remaining. We now are in turn 5, allowing, Moonlight to do a damage and still have a little bit of support area active. So we'll see what the move here is because we know that the Millennial Tree is in hand. So the next turn, this turn, we are able to utilize that Millennial Tree. But here we go. We're going to use the Moonlight Shard. It does look like a draw flip does come out, but Churro is still going to get knocked out here. And now, what is the, the play here? Is that Millennial Tree coming out, or is it Burnt Cheese? What is it going to be?
Yeah, we keep the 1 up, so we're just calculating how much damage do we have left from the Moonlight Cookie side, which is still going to be 3. So interesting here that we're just going to be playing out the Kumiho to give us our, just a, hey, I have to play a level 1 on my next turn. If I do develop a level 3, it'll be a blocker for us. So definitely a card that, I want to attack anyways here. So I think we are just playing a filter, putting it into our break zone, and then we are going to line up, trying to be as healthy as possible for that Millennial Tree Cookie play that we were talking about just a moment ago.
Yep, so forcing Moonlight Cookie to attack that level 1 here, and so that, Millennial Tree or any of, Churro doesn't need to take that 3 damage from the Moonlight. And it does look like the Millennial Tree is going to come out, use the last support. We'll see if it's going to be Churro or Kumio. It does look like Kumio, so he was setting up so that he can bring back the Kumio that gets knocked out. So now moving on to Nyx's turn. We do have 5 supports, which means the Millennial Tree is going to be able to do a decent amount of damage and still have some support up for a possible, trap to be used. We're going to go right into it where Moonlight Cookie is going to take some damage from Millennial. Wow, another HP flip. This one you have to take. Come on.
Yeah, I think here we're just going to see what's available in our hand. Maybe the Moonlight Shard. We haven't seen a Soul Gem yet, actually, so the Crunchy is not quite online yet, which we'd really like to see. The discard value for his on-play could be good at some point, but if I am committing to the Moonlight Cookie play, I think it actually has to be the Crunchy chip that I put down because we really only are playing that card if we find these Soul Gems. So, or was that an Affogato?
That was an Affogato.
Black and gray style looks so close. Oh, no, the Crunchy is still in there. Okay, never mind.
So Affogato was trash. We still have the Crunchy chip. Now we got another HP flip. going on. That Moonlight literally had 3 HP flips already, taking a total of now 9 damage technically from the opponent. That Moonlight just staying alive for so long.
Yeah, this is really the value of having that 6 HP at the start. You know, just increases the likelihood that you are going to get one of those flips under it. But also when you're backing that up with the, we have the scroll in hand or other cards, the trap cards to reduce the damage. The Moonlight can stick around for several turns. Discarding a Wind Archer is going to be the play here.
And it looks like we're trying to keep those, U-Village scrolls and other cards in hand just for the future play. We are able to go and return back some of those cards like the Wind Archer as well as Moonlight in the trash if we want to, with the Cream Unicorn, which was drawn just now, as well as utilizing the U-Village scroll to put them back into the deck. And it does look like the Moonlight is still alive again. The thing is, for Nyx, doesn't have any support to utilize any traps. It does look like a second Moonlight Shard is going to be utilized to knock out that Kumio. It does look like an HP flip is coming out, so that Kumio is going to stay and, take a little bit more of those damages, especially if Moonlight Cookie was planning to target Millennial Tree directly. So Kumio staying alive for a little bit more tanking with that 1 HP.
Yeah, huge turn here because we really want to align that Moonlight Cookie damage into the Millennial Tree Cookie to try to chip away its health. But now we have to force ourselves into a 3 HP attack with the Moonlight Cookie into the Kumiho just to get it out of the way and try to set up something for the next turn. So honestly, massive turn here for Nyx in our first match of the best of 3, getting that HP flip that, we still have to attack with our Moonlight Cookie because we want the filtering, but it does feel not as good to make it go into just this level 1.
Yep, so going to be forced to attack the Kumio here, knocking it out, as well as now being able to draw 2 cards, as well as trash one. It does look like we drew a Sugar Glass as well as a U-Village Scroll. One of them is going to go into the trash. We still have 1 left inside of the hand for Slightly, and with 1 support remaining, you're able to utilize that, U-Village Scroll if you want to. So I really think, we have another Moonlight in hand as well. So if there's another cookie that comes out in play, once that Moonlight for us that's remaining with the 1 HP is knocked out, then the second Moonlight can come in and utilize the full effect. So we'll see what Nyx does here next turn, a new turn for him. Let's see what will be the response in order to deal with that Moonlight. So we are going to go and, attack. We're still going to use the U-Village Scroll even though, it's only 1 HP remaining and it is still going to get knocked out. We just want to kind of cycle and put some of these cookies back as well as cards back into the deck rather than having it being stuck inside of the trash pile.
Yep, again, the biggest thing here is making sure that we can keep the 15 cards in our trash, and the U-Village scroll loop, as we've seen earlier, is just about putting those cards back, so you can always cycle back 5 cards once you get down to the last little bit of cards in the deck. So we are going to grab a Wind Archer here, which is really great for removing problematic level 3s, and there you go, 3 scrolls going back in, and we're choosing to put the Moonlight Shard back into the trash, because again, it is a limit of 5 cards here. We're going to shuffle up and then again resolve the attack here, which that Moonlight Cookie will get broken because it only has the 1 HP left. And we're going to see what we have from Slightly's side in terms of playing a follow-up cookie, which, it's kind of hard to see where I might want to take it from here. But we have the Moonlight, as you mentioned, which has this 6 HP, but we don't have any other on-play effects we can really resolve. And just a nice shout out to Stardust Cookie Purple in the list as well.
Yep, so Stardust Cookie is going to be that flip card, or at least the HP that was flipped for Moonlight. All of the damage has been, counted from Millennial Tree. No more effects are able to be played. Now, really have to decide, hey, what kind of cookie do I want to play out here? If I had that Wind Archer, I could, play the Wind Archer to trash the Millennial Tree. But it looks like we might want to go into the Cream Unicorn possibly to bring the, Wind Archer back into the hand. Or we might play that Sugar Glass. We are going to play the Sugar Glass in order to possibly get some more cards into the hand. Basically, we want to have more options right now because we only see Crunchy, we only see Moonlight as well as the Cream Unicorn. No more traps are available for Slightly side.
Yeah, and here we're just trying to bank on, our opponent not being able to push 3 for 3. If it was a red deck, obviously you'd feel a little bit more scared putting down the Sugar Glass Fairy here. But against yellow, when they have a lot of, 4-cost attacks they want to string together, we already have Millennial Tree down. We're feeling pretty good here because even if they try to do like Timekeeper, right? That's like a big part here of wanting to heal up. Timekeeper would not be able to attack because you have to use 2 for the on-play effect, leaving with only 1 support on Nyx's side.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to see what the move here is. Are we going to, get some more draws going, see what cards we can pull from the deck? We still do have some New Village Scroll back into it. We had some Grimoire as well. It does look like Stardust Cookie is going to be the move here. We haven't been able to see a purple Stardust this entire tournament. So it's going to be a level 3 with 5 HP where you are able to use for 1 cost and discard 1 card to select one of your cookies. And that particular cookie is going to take 1 damage and none of those flip cards are going to be able to be activated. So even if there's
no
HP,
healing.
Earl Grey, doesn't matter. That is just going to be a regular HP card.
Yeah, I really like this too because Stardust Cookie is another one of those cards in the set that allows you to deal that split damage, which is so good against Hollyberry right now. And so many times we've seen a Hollyberry that can just get taken out in a single turn because of Stardust Cookie, getting that first ping, shutting off HP flips, and then just dealing the 2-2 damage split for exactly 5 HP cards.
Yep, so we do have 4 HP remaining on that Millennial Tree. We are going to attack with the 3 right here for the Stardust, dealing 2 damage first. Of course, we still do have enough for any possible traps, like the Jade Deer as well. So we'll see what Nyx does. Nyx, do you want to take the damage, or are you going to use a trap? So let's see what the decision is going to be. Kind of calculating here. You want to... do I want to use it? Do I not want to use it? Because if you don't and there is no... Actually, you can't even use the HP. So Stardust is definitely going to knock out that Millennial Tree without a doubt if no traps are used.
Yep, so we do see the Key Shield in hand as a way to negate some of that damage. We're still going to potentially take 2 off the second later part, the burn effect of Stardust Cookie, which would put Millennial down to 2, which would line up very well on the following turn of being able to knock out that Millennial Tree Cookie.
Yep, so the Key Shield would have been an option, but sadly right now we don't have enough in the break area, so the Jade Deer is the only option we really have for Millennium Tree to, at least take a little bit less damage and stay alive for the next turn. So we'll see what the option here is. He's really thinking, hey, do I really, really want to use this Jade Deer right now because that is the only one? It does look like we are just going to check the 2 damage and then most likely slightly it will tap 1 more for that extra 1 more damage because... Oh, actually, no. Maybe he doesn't have enough cards in the trash. Maybe not 15.
Oh, we did cycle a bunch back off the U Village Scroll, and you are right about the break requirement for Key Shield. I'm so used to yellow players being higher up because we've removed so many cards already, but some of them went to break instead of the trash instead of break. So we are at only 3 on Jinx's side and 4 on Slightly. So we are closing in on 20 minutes on this matchup and just having a 3-4 break. So this is what we were talking about. These more control decks that take longer, build up their boards, want to take some time. That we'll have to see how players navigate a best of 3 match in 90 minutes for these decks that can definitely go the distance and get to 8, 9, 10 support sometimes as these games go turn after turn.
Yeah, so it does look like Slightly does have it more than enough in the trash. It was just that he wanted to save some supports to be able to use that Abandoned Cloudness, which does cost 2 supports that was in his hand. So it does look like he wanted to take a little bit more of a defensive side of things, wait for that next turn possibly. Hey, I know Millennial Tree is out there already. I don't want, at least I know 1 cookie that's going to be there. What is the other one? At least have a little bit of protection against some of those damage. So Nyx just kind of, deciding on what to do here because there are a lot of cards to be played, and it does look like possibly the smoked cheese will be an option. I mean, that 4 damage is massive, so...
yeah, the 4 damage is so tempting. Again, we've seen so many times where a lot of the cards in this set only reduce it by 3 at most, so it gives us an opportunity to still get in a chip damage where we really want it, and we see if we're keeping up for Cloud Nest, generally if your opponent leaves up to support. In this case, there's going to be some type of interaction that they can plan for. In this case, it would be like a -3 effect. So we are going to see Millennial Tree Cookie coming across and trying to deal some damage, and we might just do one really big swing here into the Sugar, into the Stardust cookie. But if we have a way to sacrifice the Sugar Glass cookie to give -3, that can buy us a little bit more time on the Stardust cookie's HP.
Yeah, so it does look like we probably will use the Abandoned Cloud Nest for possibly the smoked cheese. The smoked cheese does have exactly enough, support to be able to target. It does look like we're going to negate the first part of Millennial Tree Cookie's damage with the Abandoned Cloud Nest, and it does look like we're probably going to do maybe just the 4 straight damage onto the Stardust, or just going to go into the first, den effect, and then it looks like the 4 damage is going to come out. So we have going to have to check all of them here, hoping that there's a flip card in there, but it does look like,
ooh, there it is on the last HP. So yellow got one earlier. Now it's time for Slightly to heal up while Nyx is tapped out. Stardust leaving for another turn here, showcasing a 4 damage back swing, and very pivotal HP turn there.
Yep, so sadly that Crunchy Chip had to be discarded, and then the Soul Jam actually comes into hand here. So we are going to put that Soul Jam down, and then we're going to have to just somehow get that Crunchy back later down the line. But it does look like we do have a pretty decent amount of damage. We have the Sugar Glass to do some damage as well to finish off the job if necessary. We are going to first draw because we can try and use Stardust Cookie's effect again by discarding a card. We don't want to discard that Moonlight in hand. So let's see what Slightly wants to do here with the remaining, I believe, total of 7 supports that are still active. We have an Affogato in hand. We have a Milky Way in hand.
Yeah, so some great follow-ups we have here. We don't have a Grimoire or something to sacrifice the level 1, but Stardust Cookie is about to do some damage for us, and hopefully stick around. So it looks like we're going to stack damage on the smoked cheese cookie and giving the HP effects from any flip cards turned off from the turn. So dealing 1 damage with the play effect, and now going to deal a combination of 4 damage into the smoked cheese cookie.
Yep, so first of all, we're going to do the 2 damage here, and then we're going to do the rest of the 2 damage. No flips are going to be activated. Obviously, there was no flip card, but Smoked Cheese is going to go into the break area now, pushing Nyx to break area level 6. And then with the Millennial Tree possibly getting knocked out later down the line too, that will push it to 9. Sadly, this time around, all those level 3s are not going to be able to be, removed from the break area. So only Churro as well as Kumio. I mean, you still have a good amount of option. Slightly really low on that hand size as well. So we'll see what the option here is, because we know, there is going to be that Milky Way. There is that Moonlight still left in his hand. Right now, the total break area for Slightly, if both of these cookies do get knocked out, will be 8. Still leaving a little bit of room for Moonlight as well as, other cookies to be played for the next turns.
Yeah, this turn in particular, the Stardust Cookie is great for getting that split damage, allowing us to be aggressive with it. But this turn in particular really showcases where Moonlight is truly the key cookie that you want to have, because it's giving you that extra draw, which would be really important in the more control style of matchup of who can find those perfect hands to sculpt out their combo turns, or just even having an extra trap card to play can be really important too. So really curious to see how this, if we can find another Moonlight cookie, hopefully from Slightly side to draw up a bunch, but Stardust at least been able to provide a bit of damage for us over the course of this match.
All right, well, the Timekeeper is going to be the play here for Slightly, trying to, get rid of a little bit of that break area level here. We're going to refresh now. Finally, that means that the Moonlights, if possibly in the future that comes out, will not be able to take the effect to draw 2 and discard 1. We are going to have most likely the Churro Cookie from the break area go into the trash now after this HP as well as a refresh does take place. It does look like we are going to use the on-play effect. We will discard 1 of Churro and put another Churro back into the trash. Now still leaving Nyx at break area level 5 with Millennial Tree with 2 HP remaining, and Timekeeper with a total of 5.
So either way here, it looks like we're going to have the split damage both from Lineal Tree and from Timekeeper. So level 1 was not long for this world. So we are going to very quickly push slightly up to that total of 8 that we were talking about. We still have 3 support up from Nyx's side. So we're still able to apply a little bit of pressure here and see what's available. So we'll have to see what that last HP flip is from the slightly, and see, you know, what our follow-up turns are going to look like from a just drawing and seeing what cookie we can play. So Sugar Glass Cookie for Sugar Glass Cookie.
Yep, so it looks like Sugar Glass will be knocked out. Now we'll have to decide, do I play the Milky Way or do I play the Moonlight here? Because, you know, we know the 2 cards in hand. Nyx knows that there is no trap cards because, you know, both cookies have been knocked out now. No U-Village Scrolls left in his hand. So let's see what the choice is. And it does look like we are going to get the beautiful altar for the Moonlight Cookie coming out here. What the choice, what will be the choice? It does look like the Timekeeper will be trashed from the effect of Moonlight. Of course, we do need to mill 5 from the top of the deck as well. Kind of pushing close to that 15, which will most likely happen next turn when Moonlight Cookie does attack. But we do also have to keep in mind slightly, if that Moonlight Cookie does get knocked out now, we'll give the round to Nyx because we are already pushing to level 8. So we'll see what the next move here is. We still have, a total of 3 supports remaining for Nyx's side, allowing more trap cards to be used if that is going to be necessary. So let's see what the choice here is. They're just kind of counting, hey, how many trash do I have right now? How many trash do you have? So let's see.
I think he has more than 15. I think we're pretty pretty healthy there for the effect. But yeah, really interesting choice here if we want to get just more damage stacked up on the Moonlight Cookie and try to win on the next turn is a very strong possibility here from Nyx's side. Because, again, that Moonlight is kind of the only thing that stands in the way from Nyx claiming victory in the first game of 3. Again, keep in mind this is best of 3, but looking at the timer, we are almost completely out of that first 30 minutes. You know, try to always think if you're playing a best of 3 match, you still want to try to finish those games in 30 minutes so that if it does go to a game 3, we do have the full 30 minutes to play. So 2 minutes here left on the clock for that first, 60-minute warning, as we'll call it. But it looks like we are only a few turns away from ending this first game and deciding who a victor is going to be.
All right, so Milky Way is going to be placed down into the support area. I know that there's going to be a U-Village Scroll that slightly did draw. We're going to try to do 3 damage onto the Millennial Tree. We're going to use the Jade Deer here to negate some of the damage, leaving Millennial Tree with only 1 HP. I know that there should be now 15, right, in the trash, so we should be able to draw. Oh, wait, we're not drawing the 2? Oh, let's see what the option was, because that could have taken into effect. Maybe, they decided not to do it. We'll see how it goes. Milky Way is going to come out, deal the 3 damage onto the Millennial Tree to push Nyx to break area level 8 as well. Another Millennial Tree coming out, and that one last support being used to bring back the Kumio here. So now Nyx back to a very, very healthy board, as well as slightly pretty darn healthy too. But the thing is, Nyx has a lot of damage for the next turn. Millennial Tree has total of 4 damage. Kumio has another, 2 as well. So we'll see if, Slightly is able to do something here for the next turn in order to keep that Milky Way alive, right? If you use the U-Village Scroll, you cannot have any HP flips. Unless you get the draw to the HP flip, that's the only way to actually make this survive. So here we go. We're going to move on to the next turn for Nyx. Let's see what moves we got. So we got the Cream Ferret down as support. We're going to attack a Milky Way with the 3 damage from Millennial Tree. Now you have to decide, do I go and use the U-Village Scroll or not? We're going to just go and check it. It looks like we're going to check the 3 and no HP flip. Now the extra damage. It does look like that is going to be game 1 going to Nyx out of the best.
We actually have a pretty diverse, showcasing here in the top 8, which is really exciting.
Okay, so it's going to be the starting of the round 2, and it's a very interesting start for Nyx this time around. Orange Cookie going to be coming out as the starter cookie. It looks like the hand really is just not that good. I do see a Mustard Cookie I do see the orange. It looks like, hopefully, okay, so the Millennium Tree is going to be drawn here with more mustard. So that's already a total of 3 HP flips going into the hand rather than to a cookie. So if Slightly is able to kind of push out the cookies from the hand quickly, deal the damage as well as trash something like the Millennial Tree, we will be able to probably see possibly a victory because there is no more cookies to be played in the hand.
Yeah, as we saw earlier with the red matchup, right, having a lot of those flip cards early can be pretty detrimental because they have such a lower HP threshold. Sometimes they're good to play just for attacking, 2 for 3, but generally those flip cards you want to see just either get discarded so they can get shuffled back in, or what everyone loves to see them is under your health because that means you're drawing cards, getting HP. That's the exciting place for them to be at. So, of course, we're going to take one more here just for the extra draw on the Sugar Glass Cookie. Very strong activate ability, but we have one left. We have the Starfruit if we want to try to just cycle through. It looks like we have the Grimoire if we want to sacrifice it for protecting, but quite a few options here from Slightly's side in terms of how he wants to navigate this, because that is kind of like a free card, as it were, to put into the break area with only having 1 HP. But at the same time, maybe you read that as, okay, well, maybe my opponent just doesn't have that strong of a hand where, they had to play that flip early, and if they didn't draw into anything, they might have to play that second flip. So quite a few options here that we could really lean into depending on how Slightly wants to navigate this matchup.
Yep, so it would have been an option to, attack the orange cookie with the 2 supports that, we started out with. However, we did choose to, get the extra draw by trashing the HP, and it does look like Grimoire is going to be the option here to trash the Sugar Glass into the trash of Slightly rather than into the break area, and then we are going to be met with an Affogato instead. And that is going to be a good amount of damage as well as some milling going on from the deck next turn that is going to be coming.
Yeah, really important note here, too, is that on this card, you were able to save the HP because you forced your opponent to use that resource by sacrificing with the Grimoire, denied the break, and denied the damage going onto the Affogato Cookie. So, as you mentioned, really important here for getting the extra mill. So, starting that, the package here of getting up to 15 cards.
All right, a mill is going to be an orange cookie. So, orange cookie will not be placed into the HP of Millennial Tree, which would have been possible if that mill didn't happen. So Millennial Tree is going to come out super, super early here for Nyx. I mean, Nyx really just doesn't have a much of a hand right now, for sure. We have that smoked cheese out there, but that's just not enough to be played as of right now because we only have a total of 3 supports next turn. We are not going to be choosing to, summon Orange Cookie. Yeah. It really isn't too much of a value here for Nyx right now. And now Slightly, with the 1 support remaining, needs to decide, hey, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep this Affogato here to take the damage here, or do I want to possibly, summon a Milky Way cookie instead to trash the Affogato and, possibly get, tank for the next turn? We also do have the ability to, if we want to, use the Affogato skill as well to trash it and, trash boats top of the deck, total of 2 cards. Sorry.
So yeah, this is a case where we would have loved to have seen Slightly be able to catch like a level 2 with the Starfruit and then force Nyx to play something else out again. So Millennial Tree Cookie coming online at a good time because it's going to be able to still deal 3 damage for 3, pressure the Affogato Cookie, and just make sure that our opponent is not able to set up anything. So looks like we might go for the U Village if he wants to see anything he puts back. Nothing of like super high value yet. Generally you want to try to thin out your deck a little bit before you go into the U Village loop to try to increase the odds that you draw into what you're getting back, but this is going to be a 3 for 3, and we see that Nyx is not going to have any support left from his side, so whatever we want to attack with on our following turn, all that damage is going to be live into the Millennial Tree Cookie.
Okay, so we do have Affogato Cookie with the HP flip. Of course, we still need to check 1 more damage if we do decide to take that, and it does look like Slightly will just let Affogato go into the break area, and we'll see what the next option is. We see a Cream Unicorn, we do see a Moonlight, we do see a Milky Way, so we'll see what the choice here is, and it does look like possibly Moonlight will come out. Nope, actually, let's see. Slightly said, kind of want to, kind of don't
JK.
want to. Yeah. We do see, the Starfruit. Is that another Grimoire that's in hand? I'm not too sure. Oh, no, it's a Fairy Cookie. So we'll see. It does look like Milky Way Cookie is going to be the option here. In case, Milky Way Cookie does get low in HP, you always have the option to try and, put it into the trash with the Star Fruit and things like that. So we'll see what happens. The Soul Jam is going to get placed this time around into the support area in case a Crunchy Chip is drawn, compared to last time where we had to literally trash the Crunchy Chip and then had to, draw the Soul Jam. So this time around, Soul Jam is secured onto the support area. We are going to do 3 damage onto Millennial Tree. HP Flip does come out and most likely will take effect here with the Mustard.
Yeah, we got stuff to discard. We're happy to play it. But really nice lineup here for Slightly going into the next turn, right? We know that the Millennial Tree Cookie is going to try to go for 4 damage-wise, but we have the U-Village Scroll, which is going to buy us another turn, let that Milky Way stay in play, and then if we want to cycle, right, if we sacrifice it with the Starfruit Cookie or something, we're able to deny even more damage. So, again, a lot of healing, a lot of break denying. So this is just 2 control decks going at it, but ultimately, remember, we still want to try to build up our trashes and get that Moonlight Cookie online so that we can draw the cards that we need to try to find the right pieces. And as we mentioned, we are just going to slam through a 4 potentially, but U-Village Scroll is going to help keep us alive, only taking 2 damage here. Yep,
so 2 damage as well as 1, allowing Milky Way Cookie to have at least 1 HP, allowing that Starfruit to actually take effect. Not enough support to actually use Kumio to finish off the job here. Kind of deciding on what do I want because obviously my trash is not going to get to 15 anytime soon. So we're just going to put down the maximum of 5 cards from the trash back into the deck here. And we're going to have to go and check the damage. We'll see if any HP flips are available here for Milky Way to be a little bit more, I would say healthier. But we'll see. Because, again, we know that Starfruit is there. We're most likely just going to use Milky Way to do some damage and then trash it with Starfruit. So let's see what happens here after the shuffling comes into play. We're going to cut and then check the damage here. Milky Way, a Sugar Glass is going to be it. And we're going to take that 1 more damage, a Soul Gem. So Milky Way going into the next round with 1 HP. We do know what is to come next. So let's see what the draw is. We do see a Stardust as well as a U-Village Scroll. Let's see what Slightly wants to do.
Yeah, I really like the sequencing here that is available too, right? We talked about the Starfruit, which is going to be able to damage deny while also knocking out the Kumio, and then also clearing the way for like the Moonlight Cookie to come through, which, we're not going to be at that 15 number yet by the looks of it, but we're going to start building up the trash and working our way there, 1 step at a time.
Yep, so we do have a possibly the Starfruit come out, and then we can try using the Stardust like last time because Moonlight, as of right now, can't get the best value, but we'll see what Slightly wants to do. Kind of really deciding, do I want to put the Starfruit down right now, or do I want to wait and try to use it a little bit differently? He has it in his hand. He just needs to put it down here. Really, really thinking about it. And it does look like the Starfruit is going to be the play here. Most likely, the Kumio is going to the trash along with the Milky Way. And then we have 4 supports remaining to make any more moves. We do have the Stardust in hand, possibly to do some damage onto the Millennial Tree and finish it off as well. So let's see what move Slightly has here, because that U-Village Scroll, if it wants to be used, you're going to need at least 1 support for the next turn. So what are you going to do, Slightly? Let's see the move here. Because Nyx, I think there was a Timekeeper in there already too. So kind of have a pretty good hand now compared to what he was, starting off with.
So quick math, it looks like, because don't forget we get the 5 mil off the Moonlight Cookie as well, finally making an appearance, and also a very beefy 6 HP unit here for purple, which at the end of the attack should be enough to get us the draw now because we got the extra 5 mil, and we're going to be able to burn some damage for the Millennial Tree Cookie. So we'll see if there is a trap card for 1, but instead we are just going to take the damage, put it into the break zone, putting Nyx up to 4, and then also getting our draw 2 and discard 1 from Moonlight Cookie. And starting that engine, again, this is really where Slightly wants to be. You now have a body on board that is representing good damage, drawing you extra cards and helps you find like that Grimoire that we want to sacrifice our Starfruit cookie to take 3 less damage from a future attack. So now the pieces are starting to come together for Slightly, but we have to see how Nyx is going to respond with that cookie that he needs to play.
Yep, he does need to
before he draws.
Yep, exactly. So he does need to play something before he draws. That smoked cheese that he had earlier is actually going to be the one that's going to come out this time around. We do have enough supports to utilize this effect. And possibly, if you want to, bring back the orange cookie to do a little bit more damage to finish off the job, if that is going to be the case. But what is happening here? Because we do need to do 4 supports instead of, is that 4 support or 3 support?
He had a 4th one down, but I think the player asked as he was about to charge in terms of what is the effect for the level 1. So he was putting the level 1 and saying, hey, this comes back. So before he started his turn. So now we're going into Nyx's turn officially. There's just a question at the table on what does the rest of smoked cheese cookie do? But honestly, I mean, the bro just hits for 4. Like, the bro hits like a truck in yellow.
That is going to be a lot of damage going on to Moonlight here. Taking a total of 4 damage. Slightly kind of thinking, hey, do I want to use the U Village Scroll here? Because, again, we're trying to get to that 15 if possible. But right now, constantly using that U Village Scroll pretty early on is not really helping out. But we'll see if Slightly wants to take the total of 4 damage or 3. And it does look like we are going to check all 4. HP flip does come out. We do have a Sugar Glass. That's probably going to be the best option here. And then we are going to check 2 more, and that is going to be Moonlight with at least 3 HP. We are going to bring the orange cookie back as well from the break area, now putting Nyx at 3 instead of that 4, and no supports up for the next turn. We'll see if Slightly will be able to kind of utilize this no support and do as much damage as possible.
Yeah, the double Grimoire coming off the HP there is definitely a bit of feels bad. We were just talking about how important it is to draw those as our main, damage reduction item card, excuse me, trap card, but we'll have to see how can we keep Moonlight Cookie alive for this following turn. I mean, that smoked cheese is still threatening a lot of damage, so we do have the Cloud Nest, but I don't think we're at 15 just yet, again, because that U Village Scroll, maybe the discard gets there. I know we're getting close, but we do need some way to trash and make sure that we have 15 alive for our Cloud Nest to give -3.
Yep, so we are going to try and attack with Moonlight here, and the smoked cheese is going to take a total of 3 damage, leaving him only at 2. We are going to be able to draw a bit of a card here. It does look like it is going to be Fairy Cookie that's going into the trash with 2 U Village Scroll now in Slightly's hand. We'll see if... the Moonlight Shard going to come into effect here to try and knock out the smoked cheese. That is going to happen, pushing Nyx all the way up to a total of level 6 for the break area, leaving Orange Cookie just standing there, with just 1 HP, able to do 1 damage, but not going to cause too much trouble here. So we'll see what the move here is for Slightly with the 1 remaining, and then whether Nyx is going to be able to pull something off here. That Timekeeper not really able to do much because all of the cookies that are in the break area right now are level 3. So we are going to go back to Nyx's turn here. Drawing the Kumio as well as the orange. We're kind of seeing, hey, how many of these trap cards as well as HP flips are in the trash as of right now. Wanting to count a little bit and see what the move is going to be for this turn here. All right, so we do see a Churro, we see a Kumio, we see a orange. We know the Timekeeper is there as well. So what are you going to put down? What are you going to put down as support? What are you going to put down as your cookie? Because that orange cookie is not going to do anything more than that 1 damage as of right now. Yeah, the orange cookie is definitely feeling like a bit of a blocker here because as a reminder, you can only have 2 in place. And unless purple kind of breaks you out of the cookie jail, as it were, I mean, that orange cookie is not going anywhere anytime fast because I would definitely be locking my opponent just the one main attacker on their side of the board. And orange cookie is just going to be a level 1 that is just going to sit there and, 1 damage is just going to get looped by the U Village Scroll, so we'll have to see what threat that Nyx can develop to still pressure him out of damage on Slightly's side when we just want to be focusing all of our efforts on the other unit. Yep, so that orange cookie, like you said, is kind of acting more like a blocker right now. That orange cookie can do a little bit of chip damage here and there for that 1 cost, but it prevents any combos from really happening. You want to summon that Millennial Tree. You're not going to be able to bring back anything. Like the Churro, if that Churro is sent to the break area, in the near future. You're not able to really do anything right now with the Timekeeper either, unless you just want to try and knock out, the Moonlight together with the Starfruit. But we'll see what the choice here is for Nyx for this particular turn. I think they were just trying to figure out the trash as well as particular like what cards are in the in each hand, as well as possibly in the HP pile as well. And it does look like we're going to first start out with 1 damage onto the Moonlight with Orange Cookie. That's going to be Wind Archer going into the trash. And now Nyx needs to decide. It does look like Churro is going to be the move here. Being able to do 2 damage onto the Moonlight as well as 2 damage onto the Starfruit. But we know that the U Village scroll is there. So we'll see if, Slightly wants to go and negate some damage to keep the Moonlight Cookie alive. And it does look like right now, let's see, are you going to make that move or not? Because that Moonlight is going to get knocked out if you don't, as long as there is no HP flip. You have 2 U Village Scrolls, you have 1 support remaining, and it does look like that is going to be the case here. U Village Scroll coming into effect. Moonlight only going to take 1 damage, and we have to decide, hey, what do I want to put back into my deck from the trash? I'm not sure how many.
There's not a lot, honestly.
Yeah,
the
really
Grimoire, and
there.
that's it. And then another Moonlight, because we've already burned through a couple of them. But yep, and there is the Grimoires getting added. Yeah, not a lot of maybe you grab a Wind Archer for later, depending on if one's in his hand or not. But I like grabbing the Grimoires because that's our main, again, consistency, or not consistency, but a card that allows us to keep our Moonlight Cookie alive, which is our consistency piece, which is why it's so important. But the Moonlight chart has showcased that it's been a very strong card this weekend with dealing extra damage over the top. So we'll have to wait and see, how the HP flips come on here from the Moonlight Cookie and see what's available.
Yep, so that Moonlight Cookie, it still needs to take 1 more damage. We are going to try, I think slightly trying to keep that trash at 15 as much as possible to try and use the Abandoned Clownness later down the line, or possibly the Wind Archer. It does look like, we are going to still take the 2 damage onto Starfruit as well. We still have 2 supports remaining for Nyx. The cutting happens. We have the Affogato. So Moonlight Cookie is going to stay alive with 1 HP, as well as Starfruit is going to stay alive with 1 HP, and most likely that's going to be the move for Nyx to pass it on to Slightly. So here we go. Let's see if the damage is going to come out and possibly knock out the Churro here. We do have Moonlight's 3 damage and Starfruit's 1, but I don't think he actually drew a Grimoire here to possibly save the Moonlight for next turn as well. We do have the Abandoned Clownness, so let's see here. Moonlight first doing 3 damage onto most likely Churro. Yep, so Churro is going to take the 3 damage unless there is something else. Yep, okay, so the Key Shield comes out, negating all of the damage. Only drawing and discarding is going to happen here for Slightly. Fairy Cookie going into the trash. So we now have to decide, hey, do I attack with the Starfruit to do a little chip damage, or do I just save it for a possible next turn, like on plays as well as traps that are available in his hand?
Yeah, finding a way to get the Starfruit out of the field here and giving us like another key attacker would have been nice, or something like a Grimoire to sacrifice it for the following turn. But it looks like our Cloud Cookie friend is only going to be not long for this world, with Moonlight Cookie having the 1 HP left and being a very easy KO target against the Churro Cookie attacking on the following turn.
Yep, so we are going to decide to keep all 4 up after the attack of Moonlight Cookie. Passing it on to Nyx right here with Orange Cookie and Churro still remaining on the board. Churro having a massive 5 HP still. And then, of course, we do have, Nyx being able to knock out both cookies with just Churro if he chooses to do so, if, no real traps are used. So we do have a total of, I think, looks like 7 supports possible. So attacking with the Churro to the Moonlight. Of course, even if the Abandoned Clownness does come into effect, the Starfruit is going to get knocked out. And then, of course, you can use the Orange Cookie to knock out the Moonlight as well. So that 1 HP, or the 1 HP as well as 1 damage Orange, kind of being a little bit of a, a menace here. But it does look like we are going to use the Abandoned Clownness as well as do the 2 damage onto Starfruit, like we said. And then Starfruit will go into the break area. Moonlight holding on to dear life with that 1 HP. And now Nyx has to make a move. Hey, do I want to go and, finish off the Moonlight here with the orange? And it does look like that is going to be the case. But Village Scroll coming into effect here, keeping Moonlight alive for a little bit longer and putting back Village Scroll as well as an Abandoned Cloud Nest and possibly some more cards that we have in the trash. So let's see what other options he has. He's kind of counting, hey, how many do I have right now? So let's go into the next move after the Village Scroll gets added, or the cards get added by the Village Scroll effect.
Yeah, and great look up here for the Moonlight Cookie, again, being a key filtering piece for us, but also taking a moment to appreciate that Slightly, with all the damage denial, break denial that he's been able to pull together, Slightly is still only at a break zone of 2 versus Nyx's 6. So a second Moonlight Cookie, if we're able to find one and start with a fresh 6 HP, is going to go a long way of being able to tank it up and give us a opportunity to draw into more of our pieces. So Moonlight Cookie all weekend long showing why it's the MVP, but we do have the removal. So we're going to flip here and, oh no, it's another Moonlight Cookie that goes to the trash. So this is going to push us now to 5, and we're going to see what we have to respond with here from Slightly's side.
Yep, so the Golden came into effect. Hey, if you're not going to, put my orange back into the break area, I'll do it myself, as well as damage your Moonlight Cookie to finish it off. Of course, it was a little bit more costly than he wanted to, but Stardust Cookie is going to be the response cookie here with the Moonlight Cookie being knocked out, and moving on to the next turn for Slightly with another Moonlight coming into hand from the draw, as well as a Wind Archer. So even
Lots
if
of
the Millennial Tree coming into effect or Timekeeper coming into effect, we are able to go and instantly trash it. We do see Orange Cookie as well as Banana, Mustard, Kumia, as well as Timekeeper in hand. So no more real traps that Nyx is able to use. It does look like is that a Moonlight Cookie being placed into the support?
Yeah, I think he had a Ult Art one. He has a Wind Archer still, the Pumpkin, and a Stardust. So unfortunately not drawing into any of the trap cards, but has a lot of options here just in terms of cookies he's able to play. Now, keep in mind that we are at break 5 now for Slightly. We played a level 3 that pushed us to 8. So we are effectively looking at playing a couple more level 3s here to see what we're able to provide. But, Wind Archer's an interesting one because we are live for the effect. It's going to deal 5 damage, which is really good for closing out against level 3s or even just level 2 Churro Cookie. But Stardust himself, right? We have to remember and appreciate that we can still discard 1, turn off all HP effects, and effectively threaten 5 damage just off Stardust Cookie. That unless we have a trap card played from Nyx, this will be a straight shutdown for dealing 5 damage.
Okay, so that is not going to actually take effect. No draw is going to be allowed by Nyx because of Stardust Cookie's effect. So now we are going to go into full attack mode, deal 2 damage. No HP flips are going to actually come into effect unless we use the trap card, which we know that there was none. So we're going to go and deal the total of 4 damage to knock this Churro Cookie out. And it does look like the Timekeeper is going to come out now from Nyx's side, because we do know there is that Churro to possibly place from the break area into the trash. But that is going to push, Nyx to 7, even with the, Churro Cookie going into the trash. So if that Timekeeper is placed into anywhere, like the break area, that will be game, as well as Nyx right now kind of in a little bit of a tight spot because Timekeeper is the only strong cookie that he has alongside of Kumio. All of them are going to be the level 1s. So we'll see what Slightly wants to do. There's still enough supports to possibly play out that Wind Archer if he really chooses to do so to, trash the Timekeeper, or he's just going to let it slide and, possibly move on to the next turn to knock out that Timekeeper to close out this game. We also do need to keep in mind the timer right now is at 31 minutes, so that is going to be pushing it to the last 30 minutes that wants to be used for the round 3 if that's going to be the case. But we are drawn into 2 Millennial Tree for Nyx. So let's see what this turn has in store for us.
Both players seeing, these last couple turns of like, well, I would love to draw traps. I would love to draw interaction. And I'm like, I have all cookies, it looks like, for these last couple turns. So we're just going to see a 3 come across from the time. Oh, hey, there's Crunchy Chip finally. We're going to see 3 come across from Nyx, very quickly pushing the Stardust Cookie down to 2. And we're likely going to see an attack here as well because we don't have anything else to do with our support. So 2 more really quick. And yes, that will knock out the Stardust Cookie, which is going to push slightly up to 8. But we have the Wind Archer in hand, which is a very interesting spot to be because a real heads-up play here, knowing that we haven't had a lot of trap interaction for a couple turns, banking on maybe Nyx to just not have a lot of action here. He could use the Wind Archer just to clear the way and have a bunch of damage come across. But it looks like we are going to do the mill instead, which is going to refresh, turn off the Moonlight effect instead, and put us up to 8 in our break area for the refresh tax. So
I think this was a good move here. Yes, the Wind Archer could have come out and trashed the Timekeeper, but that won't push Nyx all the way up to 10. So I think what Slightly wants to do is mill, refresh, as well as trash the Kumio to possibly next turn use that Wind Archer instead to trash Timekeeper to actually attack it and do a total of 5 damage and close out this game because, Nyx might not have any more traps. You're going to really have to push it to the very end to finish off this game. So we'll see what the option here is, and then we're going to see if Slightly will be able to go on to the next turn here without Nyx putting any more response cookie down.
Yeah, so the play that I was thinking about there was the Wind Archer to snipe the level 1 and keeping my opponent at 15, forcing refresh later. But Wind Archer, of course, caring about our own trash for the 15. But no matter what, we are going to have a ton of damage being presented by Slightly going into this next turn.
Okay, so Millennial Tree is going to be summoned here to try at least do a little bit more damage here to the Moonlight Cookie as much as possible. So total of 4 damage coming out by Millennial. So we will do a total of 4 with the last being checked here. So Stardust, Moonlight's Cookie still alive, which is very, very important here because, if that was the one move where Moonlight did get knocked out, that would be the game for Slightly, and Nyx will be moving on to the finals. But we have one more turn here where Moonlight is able to attack, as well as you do know that Wind Archer is still in hand.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to say it, but I'm going to just comment on the fact there's been a cookie missing all weekend, and Nyx happens to be at 8 break, and we have a lot of damage coming across from Slightly's side, again with the 5 from Wind Archer, 3 more from the Moonlight Cookie. So we're going to see what we might get out of the HP from Timekeeper Cookie being the kind of the target here for Slightly's assault.
Yep, so 2 HP remaining for Timekeeper. Again, no more supports active in order to utilize any traps. Nyx really needs to kind of rely on, the HP flips to come out if that is going to be the case to survive Wind Archer. And I know one cookie that you are really, really talking about here. That Earl Grey really needs to come into effect here. And it does look like that is not going to be it. And game 2 will go to Slightly, and we will be pushed to round 3. Here we go. With 24 minutes and about 30 seconds remaining, we are going to start the last round of this top 4 with Affogato as well as Churro coming out from each side. So Affogato slowly gonna do some chip damage on round 2 because that is gonna be possible. Churro still needs to wait until that top turn 3 to be able to do some damage. So we'll see what Slightly wants to do here. Extra milling is possible as well when Affogato does attack. So let's go and see what the choices are here.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, about 24 minutes left. So this is a shortened timer from what we had in both Game 1 and Game 2 in terms of how quickly players were able to finish them. But, here, I definitely would take a more aggressive approach. If my hand can allow for it, right, I don't want to be spending resources and trying to loop like the Sugar Glass Fairy. I just want to try to mill my opponent, get my Moonlight Cookie online, and allow that to then hopefully find my Wind Archers to do that big 5 damage turn at the end. So I think it's just here. We're ready to turn things sideways, be aggressive with it. And we do see the Timekeeper in Nyx's hand, so that Churro being a massive 5 HP body. is going to then heal later on in this matchup. But again, getting to that number of 15 from our opponent's side is very important.
So the attack does come out from Affogato to do 2 damage onto Churro. Orange Cookie does get flipped in order to activate that HP flip. Nick's kind of deciding, do I want to trash anything here to get that extra HP? And it does look like that is going to be the case here. Check one more damage. Kumio will be the one. And then the mill does, come into effect here. And I believe that will be the next turn for Nyx.
Yeah, so just making sure we're counting correctly because that should be 5 total. We have the HP with the discard, then we have the mill. So just going through and making sure everyone is counting correctly here, then going into the next turn again. Players have been playing for, look, man, I'm even a little tired myself. You know, we've been having a great time here in the booth, but it has been a long day. We are, you know, several rounds in. We started, you know, at 9. It is already 5, so 8 hours plus of the tournament experience. We have the 6-round Swiss. Now we're in top 4. We have had a lot of Cookie Run Bravers to look forward to today, and some honestly really great games. And you know, we don't know how the results went of the other match, but I'm really hoping we can see Green make it all the way to the finals here.
Yes, definitely. These players are playing, you know, after so many rounds already, right? They're in their like technically like 10th to 11th game already. So not only is it a mental game, it's also a physical game now. Trying to keep, you know, your mind clear of all things. You don't want to make those mistakes that might cost you the game here. And it does look like we are going to be discarding the Moonlight Cookie to keep our Affogato Cookie alive from that Burnt Cheese's 2 damage. So Burnt Cheese also being out on the field along with Churro Cookie. Affogato Cookie still alive with 1 HP. Looks like we are going to deal a little bit more damage to Churro to kind of chip it down to the very end. Draw Flip comes out and Churro now remaining with 2 HP, and it looks like we got a Milky Way cookie going on.
Finally, we got to see this whole combo come online. So Milky Way is great because you are going to get the denial for playing 1, sacrificing the Affogato to go to your trash, and dealing 2 damage to a level 1. So if there's not a flip here, the Burnt Cheese is just going to get moved right to the break zone, and we are just left with 2 HP on that Churro Cookie, staring down a 3-attack Milky Way on the following turn.
Yep, so that is the combo we wanted to see, and it worked out perfectly. The Burnt Cheese does get knocked out, even though Nick kind of wanted to be a little bit more aggressive and try to knock out that Affogato on turn 2 rather than waiting until turn 3 to use you know, Churro Cookie. Now we are left with a Milky Way that Churro needs to deal with right now. So first, we're going to deal 2 damage onto Milky Way, try to chip the HP a little bit here. Moonlight Shard as well as Wind Archer going to be flipped from the HP. Now moving on to turn 4 for Slightly with enough damage to technically knock this Churro Cookie out if there is no HP flip. So we'll see what kind of choices Slightly wants to make. As well as if you look at it right now, it does look like we have a Cream Ferret, which is going to be a flip card, as well as Timekeeper still being remaining in Nyx's hand, as well as a Mozzarella here too. So let's see what the option might be if, you know, this Churro does get knocked out here, which seems like it's going to be taking place right now with the attack. Actually, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, I wish we had one more support here so we could activate. Or actually, no, because Cloudness is going to need the 15. We're definitely not there yet. So it's just going to be a clean 3 come across. No flip if to keep the Churro alive. And we're going to see what Nyx is able to respond with. And I really liked on that previous turn with the Burnt Cheese, because you were able to knock it out on the exact turn, you weren't able to give something else the 1 HP that you would normally want to off the feint effect. So instead, we're going to have a Banana Cookie and saying, hey, I just need to slow this game down a little bit, get up to 4 health, be very tanky with it, and see what our opponent is going to follow up with. But Sugar Glass Fairy coming down, we have the 1 resource. I'm just drawing my card here. Yo, if you want to spend your next turn to deal 2 damage and try to knock out the Milky Way, I am happy to draw another card with Sugar Glass Fairy on the next turn. So we're going to have to see what Nyx is able to line up, because again, paying 3 just to deal 2 damage would take up his entire turn here. So we'll have to hopefully string together something a little bit better and more efficient here with the support.
Yep, so we do have Milky Way Cookie still alive with 2. You know, we are able to knock it down if we want to with 3 cost of the support. You just will be left with 1, not being able to use much of the traps or anything like that. Right now, kind of putting that banana down to stall for a couple more turns, possibly. And we were able to see Slightly didn't really get a best, you know, hand technically from the drawings that he did with Sugar Glass as well. So we'll see what the move here is. I mean, Players are really thinking hard, but as you can see, the time is still ticking. We have 18 minutes now with, 3 break area level for Nyx as well as 0 for Slightly, but we do know that Yellow's constantly, getting rid of those cookies from the break area to make it lower. So this, has to go by fast if they're going to finish in time, unless they want to really go into that overtime as well as the the end game effect here.
Yeah,
come into play.
Timekeeper there going to the front of the hand, right? And it's just kind of an awkward spot because if you want to heal, which is getting that churro cookie out, you have to pay 2, which means you can't do literally anything else for the rest of the turn to really develop your board. But yeah, it looks like he is just going to go for the Timekeeper play here. Actually, okay, no heal. And
It's
instead
just
being
straight
aggressive
damage,
with
yeah.
it. Yep, that is totally fair too, as the other option.
So we're going to use the Den effect as well to, put that Sugar Glass straight into the break area. So no healing coming to this particular play, but now we're going to be placed into 3 for the break area for both players. Now forced on to play the Moonlight Cookie. All right, so the Moonlight does come into effect here. The 5 mil is going to come, and most likely Timekeeper will be the one to go to the trash. Slightly kind of thinking about it here because, of course, if we put the Timekeeper into the trash, that's great for us, but also that prevents it from kind of going into the break area as well. So I think we're counting the trash right here.
Yeah, we're going to be so live for this, right? We already milled a bunch of cards here. We're going to get another 5 once the Timekeeper goes down. So Moonlight is going to be very alive for the next turn. We're going to be going up to 5 support, which is very relevant because then we're able to line up the attacks, see if we have enough cards yet in our trash for the 15 to then get the Cloud Nest online as well, because we're going to get one more discard from the Moonlight Cookie as well.
Yep, so it does look like we are going to have 15 in the opponent's trash. Wow, Slightly actually choosing not to trash any of the cookies. So we do know that there's already 15 in the trash, so I guess we're just going to do damage onto the Timekeeper from the Moonlight because we do know that there are no more supports remaining for Nyx's side. Gonna have to try and take all that damage if there's no HP. That's the case. We sadly drew into 2 cards that are going to be HP flips here on Slightly's side. We're going to try and finish off the job here with the Moonlight Shard, possibly because there is 15 to utilize it. So that is going to be the case here. And if there...
Oh, there is an HP flip to keep it alive for another extra turn, seeing what the extra damage is. And, that is what we were trying to be mindful of the time and be aggressive with it. But the Timekeeper is going to be alive here for another 3 damage on the following turn. Now, of course, there's no level 1 to get the automatic break effect, and we can't really utilize the other Banana Cookie to deal more damage. But just a 3 for 3 when the ties, the break zones are so close. Every little point of damage matters in this case.
Yep, so it does look like Timekeeper is going to stay alive for one more turn, allowing a little bit more damage, but again, not enough to actually finish off Moonlight because Banana is going to require another 3 support as well. So we'll first do the 3 damage onto the Moonlight with the Timekeeper here, keeping the 2 supports active as well. We're going to check the damage if there's any other HP flips. It does not look like that's going to be the case. The Crunchy Chip does go into the trash, so that is not going to be an option as of right now. Nyx kind of thinking about, hey, what do I want to do? I do have the Golem right there as well to be used if I want to try and do a little bit more damage onto the Moonlight to finish off the job, as well as put the Banana Cookie into the break area. But we'll see if that's going to be the case, or we'll just save the rest to use the. I think there was a Jade Deer in hand, so that is going to be also a viable option as well.
Yeah, so, having Moonlight Cookie only at 2 HP left here is definitely not a good feeling because there's a lot of ways we can just either burn for the damage or just any solid attack. But, the good note here is that we're still able to do a little bit of filtering, try to draw 2 cards, discard 1, see what we can get into, and hopefully find some key pieces in terms of how we want to string our turns together. Having a lot of 2s here and not being able to use their effects is not giving us too much help, so we definitely want to try to filter where we can and see if we can get a trap card that's going to be beneficial for us, or try to see if there's any other ping effects we might have to take out the Timekeeper, try to take out the Timekeeper again. But we're going to see what Slightly is going to play and see what get shuffled to the front of their hand here. But playing some before the Moonlight Cookie gets their effect. So
okay.
It is going to be the pumpkin pie cookie with the...
on play is going to come into effect. So Pumpkin Pie is going to trash both cookies' top HP. No flips are going to be able to be possible. What I would have liked to see was Moonlight Cookie first doing the 3 damage onto the banana cookie, kind of drawing first to see what is going to be in my hand, and then utilize the pumpkin to actually knock out both cookie at the same time. Unless, of course, banana does have an HP. But as of right now, it does look like that is going to be the case where pumpkin is used first and then knock out that timekeeper, pushing next to 6. But, of course, it does look like we're just going to give it. We're not going to attack. We're just going to give it to Nyx for the next turn.
Yep, try to keep up the resources for, well, double Cloud Nest on this following turn. Right? We have the 4 support, so if we were to attack with the Moonlight there, we would have to only have 1 support left. And, you know, again, I think the big challenge here is, like, how do we keep this Moonlight Cookie alive? How do we get to continue to do our filtering on the following turn? But Nyx is kind of looking at his hand and just saying, like, I just have a burn option if that's where I want to go. Or I can just do a big swing for 4 damage and try to have something that's more permanent on the board and being aggressive that way. But we do want to be mindful of Nyx's break zone and how high we are. Of course, there are healing options to be mindful of, but with that banana cookie going to the break, and then if we try to play level 3 after, I mean, that is going to be 10 very quickly if we are able to find the damage from Slightly side. So very precarious situation to be getting caught in, because we could very quickly go from 6 to 10 from Nyx's side, meaning that Slightly would be going to advance to the finals.
Yep, so I think the reason why Slightly decided not to attack before using the pumpkin, as well as attacking with the pumpkin or the Moonlight, is because of the risk of having a Millennial Tree come out with 2 supports remaining. I think that is the reason why he wanted to choose to keep the banana cookie alive, kind of board lock it so that Millennial Tree cannot get the best value. So we'll see what Nyx wants to do here, because there is 2 Millennial in hand, technically, to utilize if we want to do some damage. We are able to finish off Moonlight, possibly, at least in his mind, possibly with the banana cookie, dealing 2 damage with 3 support. Of course, that is going to be pretty costly. If there is going to be a support, then that is going to be blocked here. But we'll see what Nyx wants to do. Come on, make the move. We only have about 11 minutes now. Less than 11 minutes, and they really need to try and finish this out here. So Banana Cookie, yep, is going to try and finish the job here by doing the damage. But again, like you said, Abandoned Cloud Nest coming into effect because of the fact that, again, you didn't attack and kept that all 4 up. Now going back to Slightly's turn with total of 3 supports remaining for Nyx to possibly utilize that Millennial Tree effect again if Banana Cookie is knocked out this turn.
Yeah, and having only 3 HP left is an interesting spot to be in. And now noticing the damage spread that Slightly kind of laid out there, right? We're going to have the 3 for 3 here. Jeez.
The HP flip.
These HP flips have been pretty insane for Nyx's side. Again, another situation where just leaving a cookie with 1 HP remaining is going to be super important for how this turn is now going to sequence out instead.
Yep, so we're going to get the draw here for the Moonlight Cookies effect, and we are going to discard the Raspberry Moon. Was that both Raspberry Moon?
Another double flip draw there for Slightly, not giving him any of the trap cards that he ultimately wants to find. And, we really don't want to spend all of our resources and not have another Cloud Nest left up. So unless we have a 2 cost, what is that to play? Because he has 4 up total, right?
Yep.
There's no Moonlight. Like a Moonlight Shard there would have been really, really good to be a pickup. But this, unfortunately, might just be another draw pass situation with 9 minutes ticking away on the clock.
Yep, it does look like that might be the option here in order to utilize that Abandoned Cloud Nest to keep the Moonlight Cookie alive for another turn, especially if that Banana Cookie is knocked out now with no real support remaining. It is going to be a little bit tough to survive the next turn. So I think that is going to be the option here, passing on to Nyx here with 4 supports remaining once again. And Banana Cookie still a little alive here with that 1 HP. It does look like the key shield is now in hand for Nyx, allowing Nyx to also, negate about 3 damage for 1 turn at least, for 1 damage or 1 battle at least. Actually, never mind, there's 2 key shields. So that is going to be a lot, and it's active as well because it's a total of 6 in the break area right now. So Banana Cookie trying to finish the job that it couldn't do last time to do the 2 damage onto Moonlight. going to stop it with the Abandoned Cloud Nest once again. Nick's kind of just raising that eyebrow there. It's like, man, you just don't want me to finish the job here. Okay, you're going to have to go back to your turn. We'll repeat this process once again. It does look like the Forbidden Grimoire is now in hand. Sadly, no level 1s to actually utilize the effect. But Banana Cookie again, left with 1 HP. Moonlight going to finish the job here. I don't think Key Shield will be used. It might be actually with enough supports remaining. But it does look like Banana will take the damage and fall with the milling. Actually, not the milling. The drawing actually happening here for the Moonlight Cookie. And it does look like, oh, the Moonlight Shard actually comes into the hand. So the Grimoire is going to go. Millennial Tree is going to be summoned onto the field, as well as a burnt cheese actually going to be the option here, because we do know that the mozzarella is in hand. We do know that another Millennial Tree is in hand. So the burnt cheese is a great option in order to buff up those cookies a little bit more when they are summoned. So it is still Slightly's turn. We still have a little bit of time or the damage left. So Millennial Tree going to take 3 damage from Pumpkin Pie if no Key Shield is used, but it does look like Key Shield will negate that damage. And Slightly now left with 2 supports. Not much of the traps to be used for the next turn. And it does look like possibly Pumpkin Pie as well as Moonlight actually might be both knocked out next turn. So we'll see how this goes. But, you know, Burnt Cheese has 2 damage. Millennial has 4 damage. That's exactly enough to knock out both of the cookies on Slightly's side. But we'll see what Slightly wants to do. We can use the Moonlight Shard if we want to. Probably not the best idea as of right now, but we'll wait on the player's decision with only about 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, I think a big part here is just trying to be aggressive, seeing if there's like just another level 3 body that your opponent's going to put out, or, you know, we really don't have a way to engage on the following turn. So having that extra 2 burn can be a big swing here for forcing our opponent to play out something early that they may not want to. But Millennial Tree Cookie really going to be doing some great damage here on the following turn. Again, being able to threaten 4, and of course we'll have to wait and see what flips we might get. But Slightly has been drawing and discarding a lot of flips at this point. So it feels almost very unlikely that we'll see any help coming out of Slightly's HP, where Nyx has gotten quite a few HP flips that have worked out in his favor, keeping something around for a little extra turn. But if by some miracle we are able to get a HP flip for that Moonlight Cookie, keeping it around for an extra turn could be a huge pickup for Slightly here.
Yep, so we'll see what Nyx wants to do here for his turn. He has about 8 supports to play off of. Again, we have a total of about 6 damage coming out from Burnt Cheese alongside Millennial Tree. But we also do have to realize that if both of these cookies do get knocked out, then that is also game for Nyx. So we have to be mindful of the break area as well as the battle area and the total number that is going to be combined when those cookies are knocked out. So Slightly has a little bit of an edge here because of the fact that the break area is only at 3. Even with the 2 cookies being knocked out, it's going to leave him at 8. First, Millennial Tree going to damage the Pumpkin Pie for 3 damage first. We did get a draw flip here. We'll check the rest of them here and see if there's anything. It does look like the Moonlight Cookie is going to be the last one, and there should be 1 more damage coming out from Millennial Tree if Nyx chooses to do so. Kind of waiting on it and seeing if he wants to use the extra support to do that. But we'll see if, okay, so he's going to see, hey, what kind of cards might be left in his deck as well as in his hand with so many cards being trashed right now. So the judge coming over right now to kind of let them know, hey, about 4 minutes remaining in this round. The top 4 round, the other tables are already been done for about like 30 minutes, kind of waiting for you guys to finish up. So it does look like we might do the 1 damage. We might not do the 1 damage. So it does look like the 1 damage is going to come into effect here. And then let's see here.
Is that a pass?
Oh, is that a pass? Oh, actually, I guess it's waiting on to see if there is going to be a response cookie from the Pumpkin Pie being knocked out. Slightly chooses not to put any response cookie. And now Burnt Cheese having the option to try and knock out that Moonlight with the extra 2 damage that it is able to do for 2 costs. So let's see what happens. There is 2 Jade Deer in hand for Nyx as well as a Key Shield, but Nyx actually choosing not to attack the Moonlight, keeping the Moonlight cookie alive for a little bit longer, trying to force another cookie out from Slightly, and keeping the burnt cheese alive, as well as having so much option with the Jade Shard, Jade Deer, as well as the Key Shield as well. So let's see what Nyx does here with the Moonlight Cookie damage onto the Millennial Tree. It looks like the Jade Deer comes out, negating a little bit of damage as well as gaining HP for the Millennial Tree. So Millennial Tree left with about 4 HP, drawing here for Nyx coming out and has to discard the Cream Unicorn. We do see a Stardust Cookie, which is actually going to be a really, really good one here to possibly do some extra damage and prevent any HP flip from coming out. We have now 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the clock, and they really need to decide on what they want to do.
Oh, we're one short here, right? Because we have the 2-2 split. Oh wait, no, because if we bank on not having HP, right, we can actually use Stardust Cookie. The first 2 gets eaten by the Key Shield, but he still deal 2 damage off of the burn, and then deal 2 more damage with the Moonlight Shard. So is that a discard, or was that was a play, right? I assume that was he's choosing what to deal 2 damage to here. So there might be like an all-out play with 2 minutes, left on the clock here to just try to do a Hail Mary, because when it passes to Nyx's turn, he only has 2 cards left, so it's going to cause an immediate refresh and cause that potentially 10th point of break going in.
Yep, so he really wants to try and finish this job here. Going to be summoning a Sugar Glass here to possibly even draw, as well as do a little bit more damage onto the Millennial Tree. Let's see what the option here is going to be from Slightly onto Nyx. So we do have how many support? We do have about 4 supports remaining, and it does look like we're going to pass it on to Nyx here because, again, like you said, there is that refresh happening, and that's going to push Nyx up to 7, with Millennial Tree Cookie only having 2 HP. So if that Millennial Tree does get knocked out next turn, that is going to be game without that burnt cheese doing anything to help out for the next turn, because it is going to just stay there and not be helpful in summoning another level 3 with extra HP. So here we go, Nyx doing the last shuffle here, and also checking out how many of those traps as well as HP flips are in the trash for Slightly. Judge telling them, hey, 1 minute left here, so you guys need to make up your moves as well here. So let's see what the final move for Nyx is going to be. And you got to realize that right now, Sugar Glass being out in the field, it's, hey, I have about 9 right now that is able to be put into the break area. But we also do need to realize that I believe Slightly does have 1 Grimoire. So that's the reason why the Sugar Glass was there. Now, here we go. Final attack move coming out from Nyx with less than 30 seconds remaining on the clock. We'll see what the move here is.
Yeah, really important. We have both Grimoire and Abandoned Cloud Nest in Slightly's hand. So he has 2 different sources of -3 attack damage that are both live here, meaning for what's on board with both of their attacks, it's still not going to be enough to knock out the Moonlight Cookie here. So unless there's a burn card off the top option for Nyx here, this Moonlight Cookie is actually going to be able to survive yet another turn here.
Yep, so Burnt Cheese is going to be the first one to attack. We are going to see what we want to do. Oh, so the timer is now done. Judges are telling both players what is going to happen here. So let's wait on that until that is decided. I believe there should be a little bit of an overtime, but of course.
I believe generally speaking, in card games, you're going to get 3 extra turns of back and forth. Active player is going to be effectively turn 0, and then Slightly would be 1, back to Nyx for 2, then back to Slightly for the 3rd and final turn. But what's interesting with this board state, right, we do know with the double minus attack effect from Slightly's hand, the Moonlight should be able to survive another turn, and then all we have to do on the follow-up is deal enough damage to that Millennial Tree Cookie to push Nyx to 10, and we have seen that we have the ability to do the split damage because the Grimoire is going to remove the Sugar Glass Fairy, open up a slot, and then we're going to be able to play the Stardust Cookie to do the 2 burn damage to push Nyx to 10. So
yep, so that is exactly what you said. We are going to use that Grimoire to minus the damage from Millennial Tree, as well as, we have... The only thing we need to keep in mind is the refresh happening here as well. it doesn't really matter too much, but the extra 2 damage does not come into effect if there is no 15 cards in the deck. So if the refresh does happen, then you're going to be left with only 1 possible damage coming out from the active effect once per turn from Stardust. So let's see how this turns out. We did use the Grimoire to negate the damage, only take 1 from the Millennial Tree. Nyx left with 7. Has to somehow keep that Millennial Tree alive. We do know that the Key Shield is there. We know that the Jade Deer is also in hand. So let's see what is going to be. Are we going to try to finish it off with the Golem here too? Because the Golem is there to possibly put the Burnt Cheese into the break area as well as do 2 damage to the Moonlight.
Yeah, and that put us up to 8 on Slightly's side, with the HP refresh coming, or the deck refresh coming, we put it up to 9. So we still have a turn here where Slightly is going to have a total of 10 support potentially and double attacks to do as much as possible. So we are just going to put it into the break zone here, say, yep, that's fine, go up to 8, it's not 9. And we are going to see the Stardust Cookie come down, it looks like. And I'm not sure that he has another level 3 in his hand to apply the pressure. So we'll have to see what we might have for a follow-up. Oh, just double Stardust Cookie, I guess. So again, we'll have to see what the refresh is looking like here and seeing if we're able to go to okay, there's exactly 5 cards left here.
Wow, the Timekeeper also coming out here as well to try and do a little bit more damage onto getting rid of the Churro from the break area to make it into 6 instead of the 8 here. And that is actually going to be really, really good for Nyx, because that also means that it's going to be 6 instead of 8. Even if Millennial Tree Cookie does get knocked out, Nyx is still alive with 1 break area level to spare. So let's see what's going to take place here. We do have the Moonlight Shard coming into hand that allows, Slightly to kind of deal the damage needed to knock out Millennial Tree. But we also do... Ooh, another Stardust Cookie coming out. So we are able to, attack both cookies with 1 damage. And that is not going to be able to be trapped. So let's kind of see what Slightly wants to do here. Again, we don't have the extra damage coming out because of the fact that the trash now is at 0. So really, really needs to do something. Again, no Key Shield.
Yep.
No Jade Deer that is available because we only have 1 support. So first of all, we are going to use the once per turn, discard the Sugar Glass to deal 1 damage to the Timekeeper. No HP flips are going to be available for that particular cookie. We are going to now deal 2 damage onto the Timekeeper and going to leave it with only 2 HP. Now we have to decide. I believe there is 1 Moonlight Shard, but I don't know if there's enough trash as well. So we'll see how this goes. Again, we're using the 1 extra damage onto the Millennial Tree here as well. No more HP flips. Let's see how this takes place. This is... We're going right into the last, couple moves here. All right, so the 2 damage onto the Millennial Tree here. Millennial Tree is going to get knocked out, pushing Nyx to break area level 9. I'm not exactly too sure if there's 15 in the hand of Nyx. Or the trash of Nyx.
Yeah, we have such a beefy board, though, too. I mean, Stardust is being at a fresh 5 going into the final turn here. Yellow really having only the Cyborg Cookie as kind of like that super late game big 1 power punch move, which, we've already lose Millennial Tree Cookie, which is usually our 4 of. We have the Smoke Cheese, which is another 4 of attack. But it looks like actually in the corner there, we still have 2 resources available from Slightly side or support. So we might actually have another trap card. So there's a lot of HP for us to kind of climb over this wall as the yellow player, and also trying to be mindful of that Slightly is going to get the last turn, and all he has to do is knock out that Timekeeper at 2 HP. So very interesting sequencing here that has to happen. Nyx definitely wants to consider all of their options, and looks like we do have a Key Shield. But I think that's it, right? Oh, no, there is a Millennial Tree.
There is a Millennial Tree as well as the Jade Deer as well. Again, there is the Millennial Tree to do a little bit more damage to push the Stardust to the very end, as well as I believe Slightly might have a U Village scroll. So we'll see how this turns out. I believe they're counting their decks right now for certain, ruling here.
Yeah, so the number of cards left in deck is a very common, last resort tiebreaker here. So in this case, if the way the game works, if it's much like other ones, it would be whoever has the higher amount of cards left in deck would ultimately win if it's tied in life, tied in resources. So again, every game is a little bit different. We'll definitely have to try to get the clarification on the end of match procedure. But we do know that the finals will be untimed, so we won't have the same. We'll have a clean winner for the final round. So Nick's just going through the rules process, making sure that each player clearly understands, okay, if this is the last turn that each player gets, what do I need to be mindful of so I don't just throw the game away from some kind of accident of not knowing the rules perfectly, right? So both players taking the time with the judge, making sure that everyone is in very clear understanding of what the rule process is. And so we are finally going to see the Millennial Tree Cookie coming down from Nyx's side, trying to get some of that damage and seeing if we can push slightly up to that 10 break limit.
Yep, so the U Village scroll coming into effect. Total of 2 damage to Stardust Cookie, as well as the extra 1. That also does mean Timekeeper does have extra damage here to do 3. If there's no HP flip, then that is going to be it, and that will be game where Nyx is going to now move on to the finalist position here, or at least a chance to shoot for finalist, and then we will go into the last game now. That was a very, very, very long top 4 game. Again, the other...